Hey friends, it's Raven here, and today I'm going to be offering another crypto read, checking into some others that are quite popular, big energy, that I've also been pulled to. And today I'm going to read 3 alts, and surprisingly, XRP is one of the ones that I feel drawn to read. And as many of you know, I haven't been very keen on XRP over the years, and all the sagas of everything that's gone on. So I was just feeling into alts today, and I was just getting XRP is worth reading. And I know many of you would like to know whatever comes through around that. So that's going to be one of the alts that I read. The other is going to be Solana, another big one, and then the other one is going to be Hype. One that's not that I haven't read as much, but I know that Spirit spoke about Hype quite some time ago, and they spoke about it doing quite well, and that was when it was about half the price, I think. So yeah, it's done okay, that one. So I'm feeling drawn to give a little bit of a read on that one too. So I might just jump straight in. All right, so connecting in with Spirit today to read some altcoins. The intention is to read. I've already connected and blended a little bit before I've opened up this video to you guys, so I'm a little bit blended, just bringing them in closely and asking them to support with bringing the most important information through around these 3 altcoins that I've just mentioned. So bringing them close now and bringing into sight XRP. What have you got to share or show around XRP? It's not too long now, is what I'm hearing. Not too long now. Okay. All right. What have we got to share around XRP? There's going to be a larger shift coming. Like I'm looking to receive visually in this way, but I'm hearing Spirit dropping lines into me. So I'm just going to give that to open the reading. There's a larger shift coming. Preparation is needed. I feel as though it's some sort of run, it's some sort of momentum with XRP. Okay, so now they're putting me on a ride. Now it's interesting because with these cryptos, they often want to show through racing cars and through rides and through things that move, I guess, and explain movement and energy. But they're putting me on a ride here, and it's like this ride. It appears to be something that I know to be the Mad Mouse ride, and you're in a small carriage and you're moving along the tracks, and you look down very high up, but it's very abrupt, very quickly it moves, and suddenly, boom, you go down. It's like it'll just take your breath away and drop. It's interesting too, because as I feel that, I'm like, oh, dropping, but then there's also sixes that they're throwing in sixes. They're talking about some sort of a desperate scenario. Help me to understand desperate scenario, Spirit. It's as if there's something that is being held onto but is going to be dropped. And it's like someone's covering something up in a way. It's like something's being covered up and then suddenly it gets pulled out and this ride drops. Okay. More around XRP, Spirit, more clarity around XRP. You're showing this ride and this drop. What more can you give me around XRP and the trajectory of XRP moving forward? not for the faint of heart. They're saying not for the faint of heart. It feels as though it's a little bit rocky here, what's being presented. Okay. They're talking about the Eastern European Union now, and some connection, larger connection. It's a larger connection, wider spread connection with XRP. It's like it's branching out. There's some sort of a branching out taking place. It almost feels like some sort of an umbrella is reaching out across the globe in some way. And it's showing me points in the different parts. So this Europe connection, but there's points all over the globe that they show. I feel as though this is connected in with the reach of this project, or the connections within this project. Why have you shown me this, Spirit? Why have you shown me these points and this connection? Talking about traveling to Europe around XRP. I mean, to understand what you're meaning. There's some sort of agreements. I feel as though there's meetings taking place with XRP, with higher up bodies of XRP, some sort of agreements. It feels quite, large agreements with big bodies, big corporations, or I don't know what it is, but big, powerful bodies of interest and connection here. Okay, so this is very important. Now, off the back of all this, Spirit, can you help me to understand the trajectory forward? Because it's like there's all these these meetings going on, these connections, this branching out across the globe. There's this umbrella of branching out that they show me. And how is that going to play into the trajectory of XRP moving forward, and how it moves within the chart? Talking about cycles ending soon. Okay. But not XRP. There's like something about XRP that is, I don't know, it's like getting more integrated. It seems like it's not, they relate to these cycles ending, but it's almost like XRP doesn't feel it to the same degree as perhaps some of the others do, because of these connections that it's making. It's becoming more widespread, and they're talking about unions around the globe, and the European Union. I don't know, they keep coming back to this European Union connection. So that's quite interesting. It feels like something quite cool is happening with XRP, and it almost feels like it's not going to be as affected as some of these other tokens when we have full ends of market or bull market times. XRP doesn't seem to be being as affected, or so they say at this time. So quite interesting. But I'm going to leave it there with XRP. Worth visiting a bit more at another time, because I feel like, some of these readings, we could stay on with them and they could go on for, hours really. Well, not quite hours, but, they could continue on further. But for the sake of this, I just want to touch in and get a little bit of a sense and share that with you guys. That feels like the right thing to be doing. So the next one I'm going to connect to is Solana, an oldie, an oldie but a goodie, I guess. Solana's been an interesting one to watch over the years that I've been here. But let's just get into it. Asking Spirit, okay, I'm connecting in with Solana. Okay, what have you got to share and show around Solana. They're also global connections. They're showing me, again, this kind of reaching out across the globe. And it's shown almost like, the way they show it is like there's if you go on a trip and there's flight destinations, and the way the plane is kind of drawn from one place to the other, and there's a little picture of a plane, they're showing this connection, these connections around the globe with Solana like that. These little planes traveling like someone's going on some sort of a holiday, but these reach out, span out around the globe with Solana. Okay, what do we need to know about Solana, Spirit? At this time, what do we need to know about the project, the cryptocurrency Solana? Talking about taking your time with this one. Okay, I feel as though it's almost they're changing gears. They're taking me into a different gear. Okay. All right, so they're taking me onto a scene of I'm on the water. It's like I'm in some sort of a little boat on the water, and it's quite blue. It's quite open. It's quite free, and the weather feels good. It doesn't feel scary or anything. I'm just kind of quite peaceful, and I'm just observing this energy. And essentially, it's the energy that I'm connecting in with it. It feels peaceful. It feels relaxed. Okay, so here, how does this connect to Solana, and what are you trying to show here, Spirit? They're showing things dangling off the edge of the boat here. It's almost like there's things dangling, hanging off, and there's little bitey fish coming to bite them, nibble at them, is the way that it's shown. Okay, so there's these little nibbly fish. Help me to understand what this is about, Spirit. These little nibbly fish coming and eating whatever's hanging over the boat. Okay. I'm going to move away from this scene, and I'm just going to present back to Solana. Move back to Solana to see perhaps how this fits in later. Solana. Rags to riches is what I'm hearing with Solana. Follow the money. Follow the money trail is what they're saying. New York. High up. New York, high up. They're showing me high up in the towers, high up in buildings. It's like I'm seeing all these skyscrapers. Skyscrapers and planes flying up above. It's like I'm in the city now. Why am I being shown this, Spirit? High up. They're showing me high up. They're showing me flight, and they're showing me the tops of buildings, a great view. But they're talking about, it's like they show me levels of the buildings. It's like several stories high. And they show me that we're only down at, it feels to be about 4 levels high. But these buildings are like, I would say at least, it's hard for me to judge, but I would say at least 20 to 30 stories high at least. And I ask, okay, is this in regards to the height of where Solana is or where it's going to be travelling? Talking about snowball effect. The snowball effect. It's like it's going to pick up speed and roll, and then it's like it's going to snowball from there. It's as if somebody is going to pick it up, though. Some very well-known person is going to it's not be the spokesperson, but be speaking about it. And it's almost like, the collective or whoever hears this is like, oh wow, and everyone gets on the trail. It's like somebody of authority, somebody important is speaking about Solana, and there's a snowball effect, is what they're saying. So a little bit more, Spirit. Is Solana going to be moving up these towers? Is this what you're showing me? Yes, gold. Yes, gold. Okay, feels pretty promising, actually. Talking about Snowden. I don't think this name Snowden. Who even is this? It's familiar, but I don't. And I'm going to put that to the side, but this name just keeps coming in at me. So for whatever reason, if there's connection here, but it feels very high. Feels like great heights. It feels like we're not there yet, and it feels like there's a lot of flight up the top. Like there's a lot of aeroplanes and parachutes and a lot of stuff going on up high, but we're not there yet. And they show me moving up these levels. They show me in the lift now, and we're moving up these levels. And I ask, does this parallel with the trajectory moving forward with Solana? Yes, I do feel that. And I feel like it's going to have some sort of a larger spike, a larger run at some point where it just starts to really go up. A snowball effect. This is what they're showing me. So yeah, it's feeling pretty good with Solana. A lot of people sort of thought, what's going on with Solana because it's been so stagnant for so long. But it does feel to be big, and it feels like, it's got a lot further to move. The way that they're showing it. So yeah, it feels good, feels solid, Solana. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move to our last crypto that I'm going to read for today. Okay, so the last one is Hype. Spirit connecting in with Hype. Okay, just allowing my energy to blend a little bit more with Hype. Okay, just coming in with Hype. They're talking about speed and movement, but I'm just coming back to the middle of Hype just to get more of a solid connection here before we fly off into, bits and pieces. I'm just going to connect in with Hype. Talking about liking this one. There's a sense here with this one of in my emotions, in my feelings, it's like, ooh, exciting. There's something exciting here. And I can hear giggles, and it's funny because in some of the other readings there's these giggles and these laughs, that come in, this laughing. It feels very positive, but it's like I get these senses of all these childlike laughter that comes in. That almost feels like it's connected to like cartoon-like little creatures or something. It's like little laughs and it almost feels like a game, or it's something. All these little tiny beings that are all laughing together. It's kind of strange. This symphony of their laughter. For whatever reason, this has got some relevance, so I'm just sharing this. So moving back to Hype, though, Spirit, Hype. What's the trajectory of Hype? As we move forward, what can be shown or shared around this project, Hype? They're talking about difficult times in the market. They're talking about, of course, this line trouble in the system comes in, which I've heard so many times, but for this one, it feels like there's some connection to not enough liquidity. It's like something difficult is happening around this. There's some kind of disconnect or some kind of not enough liquidity. Something is reaching a limit. Exit zone. It's almost like, it's lifting, but then something's holding it back or something's blocking it. Exit zone is like there's someone's exiting or someone's taking from it. And it's like all of this money has been taken out, funneled out, and it's like their coins are black. So it's like it feels as though they're being sort of stolen or taken in some sort of nefarious kind of negative sense. But because the energy is a leaking energy, it feels like it's presenting in dollars. So it's perhaps some, the energy of it, it's presented in dollars. And so, yes, okay, there's connection to money here, but they show this as an extension of that, and that's like leaking energy. Something is spilling out of the project, something is being taken from, again, this trouble in the system, which to me means some sort of manipulation of this coin is what they show me. And I ask, well, okay, so it feels as though there's sort of some mess, some worry, some warning around this. But I ask, okay, well, is it going to get through this? Talking about, yes, later push higher. So really I ask, is if somebody's in this, is that okay? I feel as though there's some sort of stall that takes place with this project. There's something that's stalling, some drama that's happening here with it. So, yeah, certainly something to be mindful of. But it does seem to be moving through it, but it's a bit of a rough patch. Okay, anything else to show around hype, spirit, as we move forward? Yeah, I feel as though I'm getting a bit stuck in this event they're talking about, this period of rickety kind of messiness. So to be honest, I just feel like they're not letting me move past that at this time. I'm trying, but it's sort of like they're pulling me back. So it does feel like something to be mindful of. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. We may, some of these ones we can revisit, we can circle back and see if things change, or perhaps after this energy that they've spoken about passes or is there, then we could look into it. But for now, I'm just going to leave it there with those three. And there's some interesting stuff that's come through. So if you've got any thoughts or any reflections or know what perhaps they might be referring to at some points, please feel free to share, and so that we can all connect and synchronize with all the little bits of information that's come through. Okay, friends, sending you all blessings, and I'll see you again soon. Raven Scry signing off.